Hello everyone, my name is Chessy and today I received a package from Yunzii. Yunzii sent me the Yunzii Macaron 84 for an honest review, and so today I will be doing an unboxing of the board, doing a few mods, and will give my honest thoughts on the keyboard. So let's do a simple unboxing. So the keyboard came well packaged and was sent to me through UPS. It was wrapped tightly with bubble wrap and came in this cute blue box. There's a cute note that came with it as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And it came with this cute bunny notebook.
Bunny!
So, the keyboard came wrapped with its own foam cover, and there were also instructions on the different RGB settings of the board and its different details. The keyboard also came with different accessories. So first, it came with a keycap puller, which I really like since this keycap puller doesn't scratch the keycaps. Second, its own wire, and third, a switch puller since this keyboard is hot swappable. So this was how the keyboard came wrapped with foam, and this was the foam that I used to fill up the board. And this is the back of the keyboard. One of the first things that I noticed was that there were no screws found at the bottom. The keyboard also came with kickstands, and this is actually my first time trying out a keyboard with kickstands. The keyboard is also hot swappable, and I chose scatter and red switches. So the Yunzii Macaron 84 is a 75% layout, and it comes with its own cute keycaps as well. So what I mean by 75% layout is that the keyboard comes with its own dedicated function row, navigation keys, and arrow keys as well. I switched out my keyboard out for this one for the whole week just to try it out and to give my thoughts on the keyboard as well. With this keyboard, I actually couldn't use my custom cable since the space in the back doesn't allow for the wire to go through, so I had to use the stock wire for the time being. This isn't too much of a big deal since the keyboard comes with its own cord, but could be a problem if you really do own a custom cable, since it would be a waste not to use it with a board as cute as this. Now, using the kickstands were definitely a different experience for me since I wasn't used to the high angle experience. But I think it was actually good for me since I was able to reach certain keys as well. But then, after a while, I actually found my hands cramping because I just wasn't used to a higher typing angle. The keyboard does have its own software to configure different RGB settings, but the RGB settings that come with the keyboard alone seem really good, and out of the keyboards that I have tried, this is the keyboard that has the most RGB settings pre-built, since with each kind of RGB mode, you could change the color as well, which gives you a lot of choices. So, this keyboard is a hot swap board, meaning you could take out the switches and try putting on other switches as well. What's good about this key is that it is a 5-pin hot swap, meaning that you wouldn't need to clip off the pins from any switches since the PCB could work with both a 3-pin and a 5-pin switch, which is great when you're starting out with keyboards. Moving on to the mods for the keyboard, what I did was I lubed the switches, clipped and lubed the stabs, and also added foam to the keyboard. Looking at the board after removing the keycaps, I noticed that there was foam underneath the plate, which surprised me, and also saw that this keyboard came with 0 screws, which I honestly like since it's easier for beginners as well. When I removed one of the stabilizers of the keyboard, I noticed it came pre-lubed. But when I removed the rest of the stabilizers, I noticed that they did not come pre-lubed, which was weird since only one stabilizer was pre-lubed. But I cleaned it off and clipped and lubed all the stabs anyways. Now, because of the foam beneath the plate, it kinda made removing the stabilizer of the spacebar kinda hard since the foam was literally blocking the stabilizer's way. But after removing the top cover of the keyboard, it became easier since I was able to see the way the foam was inserted into the keyboard. Once you remove the top cover, you could now lift the PCB and the plate to see the bottom. You couldn't do this without removing the top cover since there was no screws that came with the keyboard. Since the keyboard came with no foam in the bottom, I decided to cut up the foam that came with the keyboard and add it in as well. I also lubed the switches with Crytox 205 Grade 0 lube, and it took me a while, just like lubing any switches usually do. The next morning, I put the board back together and let me know what you think of how the board sounds before and after the mods. So that was my simple unboxing and mods of the Yunzii Macaron 84. I just want to say thank you again to Yunzii for sending me this for an honest review. Overall, I would say this keyboard is actually a solid buy for beginners if you prefer a 75% layout, especially since this keyboard is hotswap and supports both 3-pin and 5-pin switches, and it also comes with its own cute keycaps so that you wouldn't want to buy another set for a while. The cons of this keyboard for me is that you do have to use their stock cable, and you can't use your own custom cable or use this keyboard with Bluetooth. Another con is that if you live in the Philippines, this is not as accessible to you as other boards that you can buy on Shopee or Lazada as well. But I still think that this is a great keyboard for beginners and is super easy to do your own mods with. This is only my 3rd time modding a keyboard completely, and I am really glad I got the chance to do it with this board. Anyways, I hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this keyboard as well. And most importantly, happy typing everyone!